What's going on, guys? It's me, Julana Fan HC here, and today we have the GeminiJets October 2025 releases for you guys. I'm eager to see what GeminiJets has to offer for October 2025 as they just announced those releases, and they again, as mentioned on I think they did this for the past few months, but they did not post a countdown or anything that the releases are going to be coming. So this came to my surprise. I did see one release set from this release batch, and as I go down, well, first we do got a couple of future releases right here. So we got the recently revealed American Airlines Boeing 777-300ER in the flagship DFW flagship Roundel Centennial Livery for American that they just unveiled yesterday. I think it looks very nice. In addition, we got the Lufthansa AT4600 that caught me by surprise too. I'm eager to pick that up once it's released in a proper release set, and yeah, all the various releases over there. But as I jump into October, as I jump into the previous releases, we got all the September 2025 releases. Everything is by it now, but the 100 years liveries for the AC21neo and AT50 are restocked, so they're in this release set. So yeah, looking very nice, and nice that GeminiJets also did a restock on those. But I do want to mention the highlight from last month, the United Express Embraer E175 in the Evo Blue livery. As you can see, it looks very stunning, and I'm just glad that GeminiJets did a re-release of this. And as a matter of fact, the model has been delivered to my house, so stay tuned for an unboxing of that model coming soon. But I'm just looking forward to finally having it in my collection. And of course, we got the United 222, also looking very nice. They did use the JC Wings mold for this one, so I'm looking forward to picking that one up as well. Other than that, looking very nice here for October, for September 2025, and yeah, everything is all by now, including the 1-200 section as well. And as I go down, we do have our 1-400 GeminiJets October releases. Now, the only release model I saw from this release is because I pulled up on Instagram, and again, I did not know that GeminiJets was going to be doing a release on this, so the only model I saw from that release set was the American Airlines Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. That's the only thing I saw. As for the rest, haven't barely touched up on them, but I did see some people texting on Instagram that these releases have came out, so I was I think the Gemini just released them, and then I saw it on Instagram, they did. So yeah, I did not see everything other than the American 789, but I'm just looking forward to seeing what they have to offer for this month's release set for October 2025. So without being said, let's get into the GeminiJets October 2025 releases, starting with the 1-400 section. So as I scroll down, and as you can see, there it is, the American Airlines Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. So nice for them to see Gemini do another American 789, and yeah, looking very nice. And this should be a nice addition for all the US collectors if they missed out on the previous release, which I'm not sure. I have a feeling it's already out of stock at this point. But yeah, looking very nice. The price is $76.95, which again, probably has to do with the tariff situation and all the economy stuff nowadays. We've seen a price increase from GeminiJets due to those in recent months. So yeah, it is what it is. But the aircraft registration is November 836 Alpha Alpha. Yeah, once again, this should be a nice model for all the US collectors if they miss out on the American 789. And yeah, just looking forward to getting this model. Well, not really a model, because I already have a 787-9 from American Airlines already from the previous GeminiJets release set, so no need. Alright, so now moving on, we do have the flaps down version as well. That is going to be a $4 price increase right there, so yeah, $80.95, so yeah, nothing really too much, but it's just the flaps down variant of this aircraft. Then moving on, Delta Airlines Boeing 717, looking very nice right there. And here she is right there, the Delta 717. I did flew on a Delta 717 already back in June 2025 when I went from Atlanta to Charlotte. However, I don't know if this is the exact registration I flew, November 9047 Alpha Tango. But from what I can understand, if I could just do a little research, I know it's gonna, but I'd assume I did, maybe I did not, but yeah. I know I flew on the Delta 717, which I'm really glad I did, because of course, who knows when Delta is going to retire them. But technically speaking, Delta's not going to retire them anytime soon. But yeah, looking forward for some collectors having this, and hopefully we can get a 1-200 release of this model soon so I can get it, because of course I flew on this aircraft. So yeah, once again, the price is, the aircraft registration is November 9047 Alpha Tango. The price is $62.95. The price for basically, I'm not sure if this remains the exact same price or it's like that, but yeah. Alright, moving on down, we have, okay, that is a really interesting retro model right here. We have an Emirates Boeing 727-200. So this aircraft is one of the first aircrafts in the Emirates fleets when they started operations in like the 1990s. And yeah, back then, before they switched into an all wide body fleet, they used to have some narrow bodies, and the the Emirates 727 is one of them. So yeah, here it is. Honestly, I think the Emirates livery, it does look really nice on the 727, especially when you have like the old Emirates tiles right there. So you got Emirates and their language right there, and of course you got the UAE flag that overlaps the empennage area of the plane to the tail. So really cool aircraft right there, and that's a really nice retro model for all the Middle Eastern collectors. So that aircraft is registered Alpha 6 Echo Mike Charlie. The price is $65.95. Nothing really too much to go over about the prices, but yeah. Alright, moving on. Next up, ooh, that is something really interesting right there. So we got an Ethiopian Boeing 777-9X. Now, I'd assume, oh wait a minute, so these are folding wingtips. So okay, so like that's really interesting. I do like the art style, like the label right there to know that this aircraft has folding wingtips. But I'm not sure if it's just gonna be the mold that has the folding wingtips, nor like, for instance, you know, like the interactive winglets the 777X has, because like they have folding wingtips. I am not sure if any model manufacturers that ever touched on this on making like an interactive 777 mold with the folding wingtips, but I think from what I saw on the Etihad 777-9X from last month, that I'd assume did not have like the folded wingtip interaction. It just like when the aircraft, it's just like, you know, when the aircraft is on the ground, it's just the folding wing. It's just when the wingtips are folded up. But this is really cool. I think Ethiopian had like ordered some 777Xs, like maybe like within, I don't know when, but they do. I'm not sure. I think they do have the 777X on order. But this is just like a, I would say, a fantasy slash actual aircraft. I have no idea if this will be the exact registration of the plane once it begins service. But the aircraft registration is Echo Tango Bravo Bravo X-ray. The price is $79.95. But yeah, that's really interesting right there. So GeminiJets touching up on those 777X molds. So that's really cool. I just hope we do see a interactive mold with the folding wingtips. So yeah, hopefully that comes in the future. But yeah, really nice to see this coming here from GeminiJets. Next up, we do have, ooh, okay, Norse Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. That is going to be a really cool model, because I know NG has been doing a lot of these Norse aircrafts. I think last month, or last year is when they last done one, or earlier this year. But it's really nice that GeminiJets is now touching up on the Norse Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner, or Norse Atlantic Airways 789 Dreamliner. But yeah, this is a really cool airline. It's pretty much the replacement of Norwegian long haul when they used to do operations back then. They used a fleet of 787-9s and presumably 787-8s. So it's really nice to see that Norse Atlantic Airways is there, so it can like pretty much fill in the void, or like fill in on what Norwegian Air Shuttle once had. So yeah, there it is. They do fly to Los Angeles International. They used to fly to San Francisco, but they terminated that route. Not sure when they're gonna come back, but yeah, their main but the airline that they mainly fly out of LAX, if they were like fly to California. But yeah, but it's a really cool aircraft, I gotta say. I do have one in my collection already, so no need to get this model. But for many of you guys who missed out on the NG, this one's, yeah, you can like get this one for yourself. So that aircraft is registered Golf Charlie Kilo Whiskey Sierra. This is the European or the UK version of the UK iteration of Norse Atlantic Airways, and the price is $76.95. So Norse has some like different like subsidiaries. Norse Atlantic Airways UK, which is the registration right here. You're seeing this, yeah. Let me rephrase that. So the registration of the aircraft is the one that's operating for North Atlantic Airways UK, and I think there's like 2 subsidiaries. I'm not sure if there's like another one, but each North Atlantic Airways aircraft has like different registrations. So yeah, but it's really cool to see that GeminiJets once again is touching up on a North Atlantic 787. So really cool. Alright, moving on, we do have a flaps down version. Once again, this is a $4 price increase. Same goes for the American 787. So yeah, no need to go over too much from there. Next up, we do have okay. No way, that is actually really cool. That is really cool. Northwest Airlines Boeing 757-300, and this is wearing the aircraft's final livery. Ooh, that is something really cool that GeminiJets has never released in a long time. Northwest Airlines, I think, yeah, ever since 5 years ago they released the Northwest. I'm not sure if it was 5 years ago that GeminiJets had last done Northwest Airlines, but last 5 years ago they did the Airbus A320 with the bowling shoe livery. And I think it's been a long time since GeminiJets has done the final livery of the Northwest Airlines livery. So it's really nice that GeminiJets is going back to doing some Northwest Airlines aircrafts again. I hope we can see more, but I do love this offering for the Boeing 757-300 without any winglets. So I think that's one model I'm considering thinking of purchasing, because of course I have some history with Northwest Airlines back then when I flew to the States for the first time from the Philippines. So I'm starting to really get that I'm starting to feel like, I think I'm starting to like be interested on Northwest Airlines because of the flight I flew on going here, which is on a Boeing 747-400. I do have a Northwest Airlines model in my collection already, which of course, as mentioned, is the Boeing 747-400, but I'm eager to get this one as well. So yeah, looking forward to getting this model. This aircraft is registered November 587, November Whiskey. This aircraft could be operating for Delta Airlines right now, and the price is $67.95. So that is a really cool retro model, and I may consider getting that model to add to my Northwest Airlines collection, because once again, I only have one Northwest Airlines model. I'm looking forward to adding another one. Alright, so really cool right there. Next up we do, let's go! Finally, United Airlines Boeing 737-500 in the Battleship Gray livery. Looking forward to this model. Oh yes sir, look at that beater right there. Yes. So here it is. So I think 2 months ago they did release a 1/200 version of this particular aircraft, and now this month they're gonna be releasing it in 1/400 scale. And I don't think I have a 737-500 in my collection already, so I'm just looking forward to getting this beauty right here for United Airlines to add to my United Airlines retro collection. I think I have, from what I can tell, I have the Boeing 727, the BAE 146, and I think that's the only Battleship Gray aircrafts I only have in my collection. So I'm just looking forward to getting another one, and yeah, hopefully this model turns out very nice. So that aircraft is registered November 9360 Uniform Alpha. The price is $65.95, and yeah, looking very nice for GeminiJets. So it's really nice that GeminiJets is doing some retro models for all the US collectors. So yeah, looking very nice right there. Alright, so now moving on. And then we do have a 737-900ER in the Continental Retro livery. So we're going back to like all the retro livery stuff. Well, not really going back, but we're getting some nice offerings from GeminiJets right here. Like this United 737-900ER Continental Retro. And yeah, looking forward. Well, I mean, I already have one in my collection, but I'm just looking forward to see how this one sells out. And for anyone who missed the NG version that was released in 2022, then now's your chance to get the GeminiJets version. And of course, like, the Continental Retro livery looks very nice on this aircraft. They actually had one Continental Retro livery with blended winglets, but this particular aircraft has split scimitars, and that's the one that's currently flying today. That aircraft is registered November 75435. The price is the same price as for that 737-500. And yeah, I've seen this aircraft multiple times during my spotting sessions, and yeah, it's really nice to see this aircraft during my spotting sessions. So it's a really cool retro livery from United, alongside the United Stars and Bars Friendship livery as well on the Airbus A320. So yeah, looking cool right there. And let's see if we got more. And we got Vietjet Air Airbus A330-300, and this is in the Petrolimex livery. It's this like supposed to, okay, so this is the Vietnam Airlines that has this aircraft. So this is the VietJet aircraft. This airline is based out of Vietnam, and they mainly like operate a lot of Airbus A320 families, like the A321, for instance. And didn't know they had the A330 in their fleet, but yeah, I think they do. I'm not sure how long they have it, but yeah, really cool that GeminiJets is also going to be doing this offering for like the various Southeast Asian, like this. Of course, this is a Southeast Asian airline, so it's really cool that GeminiJets touched up on this. But yeah, this is a really interesting livery, and yeah, this is a really cool livery, I'll add. So yeah, this aircraft is registered Victor November Alpha 811, and the price is $72.95. So quite a like an exotic airline that GeminiJets decided to release for this one. So really cool. And that's it for the 1-400 section. So really interesting on diversity right here. We got some North Americans, we got some like African, we got Africa in there, we got Middle East, we got Asia, we got Europe. We're missing on South America, but I do love the diversity I'm seeing. So really cool right there. The diversity is just really, it really is balanced for the 1-400 section. And I do love the fact that they're releasing two amazing retro aircrafts, Northwest Airlines 753 and the United Battleship Gray 737-500. So those two I'm considering getting, but as for like the rest, they're cool. I also like the fact that they did release the 737-900ER. Again, like that's for all the collectors who missed out on the NG version. But yeah, really good 1-400 section for GeminiJets right there. And as we move on, we don't have any Gemini Max releases, but we do move on to the 1-200 section. So let's get started with the 1-200 section with, ooh, okay, we got something really cool right here. So we got the Airbus A300 Beluga, like just the A300 600 ST Super Transport Beluga. So, and I think this should be an interactive series too. So here it is. This is the Airbus Beluga, the aircraft that transports all of like the various like aircraft parts for Airbus A320s, A350s, and yeah, they're being used by this aircraft. It's an aircraft model out of the Airbus A300-600, and yeah, this is what it looks like. So this particular plane is going to be replaced by the A330, I think A330-700 ST Beluga XL, or just call it the Airbus, or I just simply call it as the Beluga XL. But the Beluga XL will be the replacement for the original Airbus Beluga. So, but it's really nice to see GeminiJets touch up on this. I think this could be the first time they did something like this. I know JC Wings may have done it, but this is something new that GeminiJets, and I assume they'll be using the JC Wings mold out of this. But it's really cool that GeminiJets will be touching up on an Airbus Beluga right there. So that is really cool. That aircraft is registered Foxtrot Golf Sierra Tango Alpha, which technically speaking, this is Beluga number 1, the first Airbus Beluga to roll out of the Airbus factory. So yeah, really cool right there. Price is $238.95. And then as we move on, we do have the American Airlines Airbus A321 and the US Airways Heritage Levy coming in at 1-200 scale. They did release this like I think last month or like August 2025. Yeah, August 2025 from what I assume. But yeah, really nice to get this in 1-200 now. So yeah, looking forward to many of the I'm not really considering getting this since I have the PSA Retro Heritage, but for all the other collectors, I think they're gonna be looking forward to getting this model in 1-200 scale. That aircraft, of course, is registered November 578 Uniform Whiskey. The price is $127.95. So yeah, really nice release batch right there, coming in at 1-200 scale. And now we're moving on. Oh, okay, American Eagle Sodbury 40B. Now we're talking about the 1-200 section for retros, and I think this could be, I think many collectors wanted something like this, an American Sodbury 40. So yeah, really cool, and it's also in the old American Eagle livery as well, the iconic one. But yeah, that's really cool that GeminiJets is also going to be doing this. I think the old American Eagle livery looks very nice on this aircraft. Of course, like the chrome and like the old American Eagle logo, I think it looks like on various like aircraft. So yeah, really cool right there to see. And yeah, I think GeminiJets would do nice. They did a good job on the Delta Softy 40, and I'd assume they're going to be doing another good job with the Softy 40 for American Eagle. So the aircraft is registered November 389er Alpha Echo. The price is $100.95. And yeah, so let's see what we have next. And then we do have the China Northern Airlines McDonnell Douglas MD-90 they released last month. And here it is right there. So, of course, like, it's a really distinctive livery. Again, I have never heard about this airline before until last month's release said. But they are a really interesting airline, and I assume they may have ceased operations as of, like, I don't know when they ceased operations. But that aircraft no longer flies anymore. But it's really cool that GeminiJets were able to come up with something like this, both in 1/400 scale and 1/200 scale. So that aircraft is registered Bravo 2253, and the price is $130.95. And as I go a little downward, okay, Eastern Airlines. That is something really interesting right there. We have a Boeing 727-100 for Eastern Airlines, and it's in these stunning polished livery. So that's coming in 1/200 scale. I'm not sure when they're gonna release this in 1/400 scale, but that is absolutely really cool right there. So GeminiJets is hitting really good on the retro North American side of things. So really nice that we're getting some retro offerings for the North American collectors right there. So that is really cool. Eastern 727-100 coming in at 1/200 scale. And yeah, the livery looks very nice. And yeah, of course, like, it's a very nice livery. The Eastern Airlines is another airline that used to operate during like the 80s and like all the way back to like the old aviation times. But yeah, really cool to see this coming from GeminiJets right there. That aircraft is registered November 8120 November. The price is $134.95. Alright, so now moving on. Next up, we do have, and then we got another Emirates Airbus A380 coming in at 1/200 scale. It's gonna be a very big model for your collection, like a very big aircraft. And yeah, here it is. This is sporting the airline's revised livery. And yeah, the revised livery does look very nice. I have seen only once a revised livery Airbus A380 at SFO. That's it. I hope I can try to get a good picture of one, but yeah, majority of like the Emirates fleet has like still have that current design. I think there's only like a few aircrafts in the Emirates fleet that has their revised design, including their 777s. But yeah, it's really cool to see Gemini just doing another offering of this aircraft right there. So that plane is registered Alpha 6 Echo Victor Golf. The price is $247.95. That's a lot of money, but if you have enough money to buy them, then yeah, you can get them. But of course, you can go get them at those retail stores because like they offer some discounts there. Alright, moving on downwards, and then we have okay, this is gonna be an aircraft I'm gonna have to pronounce. We got a Helvetic Airways Embraer E190-E2. So there might be an airline that's operating within the Switzerland area. So yeah, here it is. This is just like a simple livery. Again, just simple livery. It's just 3 colors. You got white, gray, and red. So yeah, not like a like a colorful livery by all means, but it's a really interesting airline that's operating within the Switzerland area, so I'd assume they have some flights over Europe. But yeah, it's really cool to see this. I'm not sure if this could be their first E190-E2 in 1/200 scale. Oh wait, they may have done it before, so yeah. But this is really cool. And I think this might be coming soon in 1/400 scale within the next couple of months, maybe next month or 2. But yeah, really cool to see GeminiJets doing an offer like this. So the aircraft is registered Hotel Bravo Alpha Zulu Charlie. The price is $119.95. And as I scroll down, let's see what we have next. We do have a Qantas Boeing 737-800. This should have splits. Yes, it does. So we have a split Scimitar Qantas 737-800 right there. And yeah, it's in the current livery, the Silver Root livery. And yeah, really nice for all the Australian collectors to get something like this as well. So yeah, looking good on diversity right here for this month. So yeah, really nice to see all these coming in. That aircraft is registered Victor Hotel Victor Zulu Whiskey. The price is $127.95. And yeah, I do want to mention on the 1/400 we're also missing the Oceanic Airlines as well. But yeah. But as we move on, we do have so we have the United Airlines Airbus A321neo coming in 1/400 scale after that got released. I think August 2025. Yeah, August 2025 was when they released that as well. So yeah, really nice that GeminiJets is now touching up on another 1/200 United A321neo. So yeah, it's a really cool aircraft, and I think United is currently using those planes to their fullest potential to various like flights across the East Coast and West Coast. So that aircraft is registered November 14502. The price is the same price for that as for that 737-800 for Qantas. And then, yes, nice. Oh yes, sir, right here. Nice. That is awesome. United Express Embraer E175 is coming in a 1/200 scale now after they got released. This model got released last month. Nice. Looking forward to getting it small as well in 1/200 scale. And yeah, that's the last release for this month. So we're really capping off on a really high note right here. So United Express Embraer E175 is coming in a 1/200 scale. I am going to be purchasing this 1/200 model as well, as I did flew on the United Express Embraer E175 twice. But the thing is, they're all Continental Globe liveries. But even though they're all Continental Globe liveries, I will still get this because I flew on a SkyWest operated one. And this one, for instance, November 606 Uniform X-Ray, is operating for SkyWest Airlines. So really cool to see GeminiJets doing another 1/200 United Embraer E175. And yeah, just looking forward to getting it small once again. So the price is $117.95. And yeah, and what a way to cap off this one right here. So that's it for the GeminiJets October 2025 releases. Love the diversity right here. I think GeminiJets did another... what am I saying? Oh, sorry guys. But what I meant to say is GeminiJets did another job on releasing these models right here. Another good release from GeminiJets for 2025. And yeah, we'll again, like as mentioned before on the last release last month's release set, we'll see what GeminiJets is. I think GeminiJets will continue this trend as we approach 2026. And yeah, we got only 2 months left for 2025. So let's see what GeminiJets will release for November and December. But another good month release set from GeminiJets right here. I love the diversities right here. We have some really nice airlines. I think there isn't any airline from South America, but still, that's a lot of continents they mentioned. Nearly all continents in the world. But yeah, really cool right there for GeminiJets. I think I said that multiple times. But as for the models I'll be getting for this month's release set, I'll be getting for the 1/400 section, I'll be getting the Battleship Gray United 737-500 and the Northwest Airlines Boeing 757-300 final livery. And that's it for like the 1/400 section, as all the rest, they're good. But I do have those models in my collection already. But as for the 1/200 section, I'll be getting the United Embraer E175 in 1/200 scale. So let me know what you guys think of this release set. I think I'll give this release set a nice rating. I think a 93-94%. I do love the various like aspects of this release set. I wish we can see some South American models coming into this month. But again, like GeminiJets, you know, with their licensing stuff, they may not do a lot of South American airlines, like Avianca, for instance, or like, you know, other airlines in South America. But it's just how GeminiJets' licensing goes. But still a good release set from GeminiJets. And once again, be getting the United, the Northwest, and the E175 1/200 scale. So yeah, let me know what you guys are going to be getting for this month's release sets. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And turn on the bell icon so you won't miss a new upload like this anytime soon. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.